What is agency? Well, simply put, it's our ability to have control over ourselves, our ability to make our decisions that we want to make, to be able to execute on those decisions, and to have control over our lives and over our emotions, our thinking patterns, our thoughts, and our decisions. Now, there's a lot more to it than that, and you can find out by following one of the links below. Agency is one of the main things that separates humans from animals. It's what makes it possible for us to have civilizations and societies and cooperate with each other and manage our lives in an advanced way. In fact, it's what creates the possibility for markets, for love, for science, for technology, and for everything that we now identify as human creations. You need agency to be fully human, and agency itself can be developed the same way we develop any other skill. This course is going to teach you how to do that. What is full agency? We can't have perfect agency because we are all limited in our abilities. We have limited intelligence, limited resources, and we are limited in time and space to only be able to execute our will within those limitations. However, we can develop full agency. So then what is that? Well, if I said that I am physically fit, would I be comparing myself to something else? Well, of course. I'd say I'm physically fit for the life that I'm living. I wouldn't be comparing myself to a professional athlete who has to be physically fit at a different level than I do. So when we say full agency, it means that you have sufficient agency to accomplish the tasks and meet the challenges of your life. Why should I develop agency? Developing agency will give you control over your life. It will give you true freedom. If you don't learn how to reprogram yourself, how to control your own mind, and how to develop agency, someone else is going to learn how to control you. You're going to be subject to the powerful influences that you face every day. Many of those are designed specifically to compromise your agency and get control over you. Therefore, learning to have greater agency, learning to have greater control over yourself, more mindfulness, ability to concentrate, and ability to manage your thoughts and emotions is going to make you a more powerful person. Additionally, a lot of people say they want to change the world. They want to do something that makes the world a better place, to protect their people, to advocate for some ideas that they have. You can't do that. You can't change the world if you can't change your own life, if you don't have control over your own life. Therefore, developing agency gives you the power to change the world. Who is the course designed for? Well, this course is designed for people who have done things like clean their room, and they're looking for something else. They're looking to go beyond that, to have a greater level of control over themselves, over their emotions, over their thoughts, and over their actions. Many of us have big goals and big things that we want to accomplish, and oftentimes we know everything we need to know to accomplish our goals. And what's hard for us to do is to actually implement the things we need to, or that we know we need to do in our actual life. So this course is designed to help you have the power to implement all kinds of self-help or projects that you want to accomplish in your own life and to really create the life that you want. How old do you have to be to benefit from this course? Well, I'd say you should be at least 14 years old to benefit from the course. There's nothing wrong with a 14-year-old taking this. In fact, we should be helping our children to develop agency from a young age. They will develop it, as I mentioned before, appropriate to their age level. And so a 14-year-old is able to develop quite a bit of agency, and this course will help them so that when they do become an adult, their agency is at a fully developed level so that they can meet whatever challenges they have to face. And I would say, people going up of any age can benefit from this. It might seem that this is something that's, great for young people because they need guidance. The reality is most adults, most people, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, have very low levels of agency. They are essentially under the control of the propaganda and the influences that they see around them in the world. And this course is going to help them to take really control over their lives, and the rest of their life will be a lot happier and healthier. If I've already developed agency, is this course going to be useful for me? Well, yes, it will be. Even if we have developed our agency, very often we've done that in a subconscious way. So we've developed agency not knowing that's what we are doing. And in fact, I tend to think that the people who are more interested in developing agency will be the ones more attracted to the course. The reason for this is that agency can be developed subconsciously because we have to do it in order to survive the challenges that we face in life. However, understanding agency from a deeper perspective and consciously developing our agency is going to help us not only to have better lives, but if we want to teach others. So if we want to help other people to develop their agency, we want to have a positive influence on those around us, perhaps our children, it's going to help to have a chance to study agency, study ways of developing it, and improve our own agency as well. And no matter where our agency is developed, our lives are constantly in flux, they're constantly changing. And understanding how to reprogram ourselves is going to enable us to change with the changes we face in life. It's going to help us to be able to adjust our focus, to reframe our thoughts of the world, and to eliminate perhaps things that we realize as we get older are untrue, or beliefs that we had that we want to get out of our mind. And so it's very important, even if we are people of high agency, that we take a course like this, because it will make us higher agency and more useful as teachers of agency. How does the course work? Well, once you sign up for the course, and I get a little information from you, what you're going to do is you're going to be invited to a private Facebook group, and that's the social reinforcement behind the course. So we work together, we talk to each other, and we share our experiences, and that helps to reinforce our development of agency. Agency is generally not developed in a vacuum, and I'm not actually sure it's even possible to develop our agency without the social aspect, since we need that positive peer pressure on us to help us correct course and to make sure that we're adjusting ourselves correctly. Additionally, you'll get an email. It's a welcome email. It will send you to a page on the website that's password protected, and you'll get information there about the activities that you're supposed to do. So there are 10 sections to the course. There are 30 activities and a few bonus activities that you can choose to do or not. And it's going to take you about 90 days to do all these activities. Some activities need to be done repeatedly over a few days. You may even, at some parts of the course, decide to go back a little bit and redo something so that you can get a better final product later on. It'll depend on what you specifically need. So the course will take about that long. It's going to be maybe 100 hours of work in total over the 90 days. And you're going to have a mix of doing these activities and sharing some of the results. Some will be very private and you're not going to want to share them. And you should find people in your life, if possible as well, to help support you in this process. It's very important that we don't isolate ourselves and that we have a supportive network behind us, so that as we're reprogramming ourselves, as we're developing our agency, we are also doing it within the family or friend group or social groups that we belong to, because that's going to make a difference for those groups. And it's also going to make sure that we don't program ourselves in a way that makes us incompatible with healthy people. Now, you will find that as you're reprogramming yourself, you may change who you choose to associate with. You may realize throughout the programming process that you have been manipulated or programmed or hurt by people in your life, and you may wish to no longer associate with those people. And that's a perfectly normal part of the reprogramming process. However, you'll get more details on that as you go through. We talk about protecting yourself from negative influences, protecting yourself from, for example, we deeply encourage people who are in the course to reduce as much as possible their access or their exposure to media, so that they have an opportunity to recognize the lies that they've been fed and completely take those out of their mind. That's hard to do when you're being programmed. You know, we call television programming for a reason. It's because it's designed to program us, not just what appears on the television. So you're going to get initial email. There's a Facebook group. There are activities that are listed in detail on the website pages that you'll be linked to. And that's how it works. How much time do you need to dedicate to the course? Well, this is going to really depend on you and on your past experiences, how deep your unhealthy programming that you might have goes. All of us have some unhealthy programming, no matter how well we are at rooting it out. There'll always be a bit of that left. Much of the programming we receive is almost impossible to completely eliminate, and instead we have to overwrite it. So how much time is that going to take? I would say for your average person, will take about 100 hours to complete the course over a period of 90 days. If you haven't got much experience in mindfulness and in meditation, you might add another 10 or 20 hours onto that to develop your abilities in those areas. But it seems about a reasonable amount. So the reason that there's a Facebook group associated with the course is because we need support. And it's especially useful to have support from other people who are going through the same thing. Generally, I would take my clients through this type of a process step by step. And so they would have that constant once, twice a week support from me as they're going through it. And what I've done is created a less expensive method by allowing people to have a peer support, peer-to-peer support through Facebook. And I think this is going to be very effective, even if you're getting coached, as a second layer of support. You know, we don't develop agency in a vacuum. Agency is developed along with our social connections and our networks. We need the reinforcement of positive peer pressure in order to implement positive changes in our lives. You know, they say we're made up of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. For a lot of people, they're spending the most time is with YouTube personalities or television shows. And so they're picking up the programming from those people. It can be positive or negative. But the fact is that spending time with other people who are interested in developing their agency is going to help you in your efforts to develop your agency. You know, I've mentioned that this course can change your life and that I think it's going to help a lot of people, hopefully thousands of people, to develop agency. And the question that I get asked occasionally is, why don't I just give the course away for free? Well, the reality is, unless you make some sort of sacrifice in order to learn, it's highly unlikely that you're going to follow through and do the activities and complete them and have them actually make a change on your life. If I devalue the course by giving it away for free, what I'm doing is I'm signaling to you that this isn't important. And this is going to make it a lot harder for you to follow through on things. Now, there are some people that are capable of following through on a free course and doing all the activities that are necessary and getting the benefit out of it. But most people, they need to have some sort of an investment in what they're doing in order to follow through and make it successful. So by charging, I'm doing that. Additionally, I want this course to reach as many people as possible. That's going to require marketing. That's going to require a very careful expenditure of funds to spread the course out. And if I don't have money coming in to do that, I can't make it reach as many people. So it amplifies the audience that I can reach. And the third reason is that it needs to be sustainable. The course can only be sustainable if I have the time to guide it and direct it and to improve it as we go along as well. And to be there for the groups in Facebook and others to make sure that they're properly administrated and that people get support that they need. I can only do that if I have time to do it, and I can only have time to do it if I'm getting paid. And so I have to charge for the course for that reason. So I actually think I can reach more people by charging for the course than I can for free. And a last reason, the fourth reason is that by putting a price on it, I am keeping out people who are not serious about the course, who are only there to have a look or just to fool around. This makes it much better for the people who are serious about developing their agency so that they're not flooded with stupid comments in the Facebook section.